Hey, what's up, fighter? Fightman64 here, and welcome to another tier list video. As part of my way of saying thank you guys for helping me accomplish the goal of 400 subs by the end of 2023. Today, we're going to be talking about every single Mario Kart game and determine which of the 10 Mario Kart games are from best to worst. Please note, these are all going to be based off of my personal opinion. So if my opinion different from yours, please respect them and don't criticize me if your favorite Mario Kart game is low on the list, because my opinion will not change after this video is done. So please use this tier list in a respectful manner, and if you want to play along with me, go right ahead. So, before we start, do me a huge favor and punch that like button on this video. I would really appreciate it. And also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button today if you are not a subscriber already, because there are still a lot of you watching my videos as a non-subscriber, and if you are one of them, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button today, and let's reach that next goal of 500 subs. And don't forget to hit the notification bell if you enjoy gaming content such as this one. So, first off, ground rules. We are going to be ranking every single Mario Kart game, excluding the arcade version of Mario Kart. And the reason for that is because I only played one of the arcade Mario Kart games out of the 3 or 4 arcade Mario Kart in general, and I feel if I ranked them, it would be weird, and I probably would rank them low. So therefore, I'm just going to be ranking every single Mario Kart game from every Nintendo game up to the mobile phone device. That means going in chronological order from Super Mario Kart to Mario Kart Tour. And how I'm going to rank them is I'm going to look at every single Mario Kart game and judge them based on the gameplay mechanic, the track, the music, my overall experience, the battle courses, and the item feature. And what they bring new to the table, if necessary. So, the rankings are as followed. At the very top, we have the S rank, which means greatest of all time. This Mario Kart game is basically just me saying this is my all-time favorite Mario Kart game ever, with almost little to no flaws. In A rank, we have excellent. These are games that are also top contenders for favorite Mario Kart game, but doesn't make it to the number 1 list, with very few flaws also. These are great. These Mario Kart games are a great game, and games that I do enjoy, but they aren't without its flaws. C means good, which are pretty much the average Joes of Mario Kart, meaning that I do enjoy the game, but not as much because of the game flaws and the problems I have with it. D is mid, which are games that I don't really enjoy, but it does have some of its saving grace. And F, to nobody's surprise, is garbage. It is basically me saying this is the worst Mario Kart game ever, and a Mario Kart game that I do not ever want to go back and play again, and one that I recommend you play the least, in other words, or have like the least amount of experience, however you want to put that. But I think you guys have an idea which Mario Kart game is gonna land there. So I think I done good enough with the explanation, so let's get down to ranking. Starting with the first ever Mario Kart game. The oldest Mario Kart game, that is the only Mario Kart game that's older than me, Super Mario Kart for the SNES. Oh, Super Mario Kart. How do I put it to you in a positive manner without being so negative? Oh, wait. I cannot. This is easily gonna get the F tier. Screw that Mario Kart game. I don't think this should be to anyone's surprise that it would be at the bottom of the well. So, Super Mario Kart. I'm just gonna say this right now. The game is notoriously difficult to play, and it's especially shown when you play on higher difficulty like 150cc and maybe even 100cc, depending on how well experienced you are with the oldest Mario Kart game ever. So, my biggest complaint with Super Mario Kart is that not only is the game notoriously difficult, as I said earlier, but the courses are all that great. And fun fact, all of the Mario Kart courses are flat. And it is not in a good way. There is one other Mario Kart game that's like that, but I think it's much better executed, which we'll get to later. Now, I will say not all the Mario Kart tracks are bad. There's a few courses that does stand out to me, even if I do hate some of them. But yeah, and for items, well, the items are okay, but there's just a few items that I think is just a bit unfair. Like, for example, Toad and Peach get to throw the poison mushroom. You, as a human player, cannot use that item. Or, for instance, Bowser's Fireball. Another thing that you cannot use. Every other item that the other AI throws, that it was you can use. But not like in their playstyle. And also there's Yoshi's Egg. I forgot to mention that also. Which is like an item that you don't get until like in later Mario Kart game. Same with the fireball that I mentioned about Bowser. Only that it's used by someone else. Which again I will get to later. Now, aside from the track being somewhat forgettable, the characters are pretty decent, and the battle courses are pretty decent also. But what I will say is, the game is great for nostalgia, and it only plays up to 2 players, because 4 players didn't happen until the next Mario Kart game. So, Super Mario Kart, it's great for nostalgia, but not a fun experience to play gameplay-wise. So, if you're trying to go for 100% for Super Mario Kart, for like beating all the cup on every CC, all I'm going to say is good luck with that, because you're going to need it, man. It's notoriously hard, and I'm not kidding. So that's why I'm going to put Super Mario Kart at the lowest rank possible. Anyway, next we have my first ever Mario Kart game that I ever played, and it's still like my childhood game to this very day. It is Mario Kart 64. Such a fantastic, nostalgic Mario Kart game. And it's one of those Mario Kart games that I do enjoy as a kid. And I still enjoy it to this very day. But I will admit, it does have its flaws, though. And for a few reasons. One, the lightweight characters are almost impossible to catch up if you're playing this on like 100cc, 150cc, or in mirror mode. And I can especially say that for like Toad's turnpikes and oncoming vehicle are headed toward the opposite direction in mirror mode. For those who knows, well, well, I'm sorry to bring that up again. But I don't enjoy Toad's Turnpike. It is notoriously bad. But other than that, the tracks in Mario Kart 64 are great, and so is the character roster. Battle mode is pretty good, and the items, they're pretty decent, but in terms of how the shells work, especially the red ones are kinda useless unless you can somehow get near your opponent in like any shape or form. Because gameplay wise, it hasn't aged well, but it's great to play with your family. So therefore, I'm gonna give Mario Kart 64 an A rank, based off of my judgment and opinion. Anyway, next up we have Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance. Now, I will say this right now, Mario Kart Super Circuit is not a great game, but I do not think it is as worse as what Super Mario Kart has to offer. Reason for that is because, well, the GBA tracks are great, but the same cannot be said for the SNES track, because SNES tracks are missing lots of hazards. And it's just, I don't really find there to be a reason why you would want to play the NES track on Mario Kart Super Circuit. I mean, unless you're trying to go for 100%, which, by the way, very notoriously difficult, because there's a ranking system in Mario Kart Super Circuit, and it's really hard to get, like, 3 stars and all of, like, the cups and a lot of that stuff, and that is, like, where my big gripe is. Basically, your score and how well you do is based on what rank you will get, and the highest you can get is a triple star, which is like the most impossible thing to get. And the gameplay is finicky. You do have the same characters as you do in Mario Kart 64, but gameplay-wise, it's finicky, and it feels weird for me to play on, like, the first handheld Mario Kart game before a hybrid for the Switch, like, ever came out, you know? And by the way, I actually did get to try out the battle course for the first time. So if you guys want to check out my buddy Dryzone Squad 2001 to watch me and Warrior Man 64 play some battle courses and racetrack, go check out his video, because I think you'll have a blast watching it. Anyway, aside from like my gripe about the ranking of the SNES track missing some hazards, I will say the items are pretty good, but it's pretty disgusting that you can get comboed in one place, especially in battle mode. Now, I know Drython is probably going to be laughing at me when I say that, but I actually mean that in a serious way. So that's just what experience I had when I've played with them. Now, the thing I like about the item system, that with the red shell, you can play more tactical. To, like, well, if you, like, for example, if you play like a red shell behind you, it stays in play and targets the next racer that goes nearby the shell that you play. Basically, you're using that as a trap, and I like that feature in that. Like, but yeah, Mario Kart Super Circuit, it does have some saving grace, but it's not a great Mario Kart game to play. D tier is gonna get. So, 3 Mario Kart games down and 7 more to go. And next we have my all-time favorite Mario Kart game ever. Mario Kart Double Dash. Get up to S rank, dude. This game rocks. So, you have 4 players, well, 2 players riding in one vehicle. And there's special items, and you can pretty much like mix up your strategy. Like you could have like King Boo be one of your characters, and then like have Bowser be your neck. Although King Boo and Pete are like the OP characters of the game, since they can use every special item. But I just wanted to use that as an example. So King Boo first appearance in a Mario Kart game was Double Dash, and that's part of the reason why I'm putting it at S tier. Now, some people may call this game overrated, but this is like my favorite childhood game growing up, aside from Mario Kart 64. The gameplay is great, the item systems are great, I love the special, the track, the character roster. A lot of things are good. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, and there's also the all-tour courses, which I think were really cool. And you can also play up to 4 players during the Grand Prix mode, which means there's like 2 teams competing in a Grand Prix. One duel versus another duel after the same goal. And it's like, there's a lot of chaos involved. And if you played the LAN mode for that, it's even more chaotic. Oh, and I guess I should also say Bob on Blast and Shine Runners. Or whatever that Sunshine game was called. Those were some pretty cool ideas for battle modes. And I'm glad they developed some ideas with that as well. Mario Kart Double Dash. All-time favorite game. I suggest you give it a try if you have not already. So, yeah. S rank is gonna get Mario Kart Double Dash. Anyway, next we have Mario Kart DS. Now, Mario Kart DS, this is probably gonna be one of my favorite handheld Mario Kart games of all time. Toppling Mario Kart Super Circuit and Mario Kart 7 by a long shot. So, my favorite thing about Mario Kart DS is, well, Mario Kart DS, in my opinion, has some of the best racetrack for Nitro Cup. And it does retro track in a more respectful manner. Although there are a few bad ones there. And what Mario Kart DS also had was the mission mode, which I thought was pretty cool. And mission mode was like the greatest thing they ever added with Mario Kart DS. And the fact that you could also do battle mode solely without having to play multiplayer with other human players. And you could also play online locally or just using the internet online, which unfortunately I never did. And playing Mario Kart DS and dealing with like the item system, the track, the incredible character roster, it was great. I wouldn't say it's the best one. So for Mario Kart DS, I think I'm gonna place this in the A tier with Mario Kart 64. I still think between 64 and DS, 64 topples over DS by like a small margin. So yeah, Mario Kart DS is getting A rank. Next we have probably the most overrated Mario Kart game ever, in my personal opinion, Mario Kart Wii. Now, I am going to say this right now, Mario Kart Wii is not a bad game, but man, does it suffer some flaws. And let me tell you about the few flaws it has. One is mainly targeted toward battle mode. Because the problem with battle mode for Mario Kart Wii is that it's team battles only, and you're either doing balloon battle or you're just collecting coins and just hoping that your team cooperate, whether it be the AIs or human players online, or or even somebody locally. Mario Kart Wii, in my opinion, has literally one of the worst battle modes in existence. Because there's no way to do Battle Royale. My other reason for saying that Mario Kart Wii is overrated is because now, while I do think the Wii track Nitro are really good, there are a few that I feel is just overrated, like Maple Treeway or Rainbow Road or some of the other tracks that might also be overrated. But that doesn't take away the fact that Mario Kart Wii is still a fun game, and bikes were broken as well. But I will give Mario Kart Wii this: it does have the best roster in the game. The Wii tracks are good. The retro tracks are also pretty good. But same cannot be said for like the item system and the battle mode, because battle mode, saying this one more time, it's one of the worst ones in my personal opinion. Due to that reason, I'm gonna put this in B. And I guess I should also say that it does have motion control on the Wii, where you have like the Mario Kart wheel in that, which I don't hardly ever use because I'm lazy and I'd rather use a GameCube controller over using like a Wii wheel or something like that. But I guess that's just the taste of my personal preference. Otherwise, so B tier is what Mario Kart Wii is going to get. And now we move on to Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS. Alright, well, Mario Kart 7, this is one I didn't really care for all that much. My reason for that is because, well, the character roster, I didn't like how the character roster was. There wasn't any King Boo, there wasn't Waluigi. There were like some weird character I feel like that shouldn't have been there. And the gameplay is more or less forgettable. And I should also say they're like more Mario Kart parts, which is like the saving grace Mario Kart 7 had for it. And that all started on like the Double Dash to DS and then to Wii and that stuff. I personally don't think Mario Kart 7 was a great game. I just find it just it feels like more of the average Joe's Mario Kart game, because I feel like this was like the part where Nintendo kind of started running out of ideas a little bit. I mean, gameplay wise, I still think this is a fun game and that the tracks are fun and all, but it doesn't live up to the same vibe of what Mario Kart DS have or what Mario Kart Wii had, and with doing like sick tricks in Wii like you do in 7. So, Mario Kart 7, I gotta put this a C. I don't think this is necessarily a great game or a mid game at best, but I feel like this is one of the more forgettable ones. And the battle courses, weren't too memorable either. I think the only memorable one for me were like Woohoo Loop and Maka Wahoo, basic stuff off of Wii Sport Resort and that stuff. So that's why I'm gonna put Mario Kart 7 at C. And I think for Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U, I'm probably gonna put this in C as well. Mario Kart 8 was an incomplete version of a Mario Kart game. And this came from a console that flopped, that being the Wii U. The problem that Mario Kart 8 suffered from is the lack of battle mode. Luckily, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe fixed that, which we'll get to later. I do think that the Mario Kart character roster is great as well, but there were some weird picks in there, similar to what I said for like Mario Kart 7. Like, there are some characters I just don't think should have been in there personally, but it is what it is. The racetracks are pretty good, but the game just felt incomplete all in all, which is why I'm putting Mario Kart 8 below Mario Kart 7. But I will say, I'm very happy the Koopa finally got to be playable in that game before Super Smash Bros. Ever did the same thing for like Smash 3DS and Wii. So, yeah, Mario Kart 8 is going to be at C tier. But what about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Well, it had the booster core pad, and it had even more track to add to it, as well as like more characters, and it actually did have a battle mode, and had more option. And this was more of a enhanced and completed version of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. A rank is going to be at. And I think I'm going to put this ahead of Mario Kart DS. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a blast, dude. The fact that they decided to do the booster course path 2 years ago, it's mind-blowing to me how they like added more courses from like Tour and like other past Mario Kart games as well as like new ones. And Nintendo really stepped up their game for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But could I say the same for Wave 1? Well, no, I can't. Because Wave 1 was a sloppy start. But it did get better after each wave for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And there's like more item systems as well. It's great for a Switch game, and I hope we get a good Mario Kart game like that in the future. So, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe landing in the A between Mario Kart 64 and Mario Kart DS. And last but not least, we have Mario Kart Tour. Yeah, I'm going to put this in D tier, honestly, because Mario Kart Tour, it just doesn't feel like Mario Kart to me. Now, I will say right now, I did not try out the battle courses for that game, because I only played Mario Kart Tour for like, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 years, maybe less. But I will give a point for like having like more ideas with like characters and like vehicle parts and like wheels and gliders and a lot of that stuff. And the idea that tour tracks are based off of major cities like Singapore, New York City, Athens, Rome, Madrid, and a lot of that other tour courses. I did like the idea that they added a lot of alt, but did they really have to put a lot of these characters behind a paywall with like the RNG pipe in that? I don't think so. It was more of a pay to win to to start off for Mario Kart Tour until they like changed that. And while I would put this at C rank, I have to put it at D as best because there's like things I don't like about Mario Kart Tour where you have to like go for the highest score and like get the best result, and certain characters, vehicles, and like vehicle part, it's all favored for one track, which gives you better odds at winning. And that was one of the things I did like for Mario Kart Tour, because it almost feels like the game was being biased about which character does best at what core, or what vehicle part does best at another core. I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. And you had to like pay coins, or like those special coins, and there was like the team matchup. So therefore I gotta put Mario Kart Tour at D. So yeah, that's my Mario Kart game tier list. At S rank we have Mario Kart Double Dash. At A rank we have Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Kart DS. B rank Mario Kart Wii. C rank Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart 8. D is Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario Kart Tour, and in dead last is Super Mario Kart. So yeah, that is my tier list for every Mario Kart game from best to worst. So once again, I want to thank you guys all so much for watching it. And if you enjoyed this tier list, don't forget to punch that like button and let me know what your opinion is. Did you agree with my opinion or did you disagree with it? Comment down below and share your thoughts about your opinion, because we love to hear from you. So, thank you guys for watching it, and until then, I am Fightman64. See you all. Have a good day. Game on, my friends, and take care. Goodbye, everybody, and stay safe. Adios.